All right, hey guys. So today we're going to butcher a salmon. All right, this is a whole salmon. It's actually drawn. All right, which means that because it's drawn, there's no guts in it. It's been ripped open and all the guts have been taken out. So you can see back here is its backbone. There's a little blood left, which we'll get rid of when we butcher it. Still has the head. All right, you can take a look at the eyes to see if they are clear. If they're really glossy and you can't see over them, it means it's starting to go bad. You can check its gills, and you can see the gills are fairly healthy. They're good to go. Its mouth here, you got to be careful. It does have teeth, which can be sharp. All right. And what we're gonna do today is we're gonna butcher it. So we're gonna cut down here around its fin, going up on a curve, because you want to get around the head, but there's meat up here in the top. So you want to start from up here and then cut straight back. Now this is a round fish, which means we're going to get 2 fillets out of it. We have this side, and then we will do the other side when we're done. Also, this fish has been descaled already. All right, so if you feel it, it's got a smooth skin to it. There's no scales left on it. If you notice that there's scales on it, they're going to be little hard pieces, almost kind of like a plastic that's on the top of the fish. In order to take the scales off, you're going to use something like maybe the back of your knife just to go up and push all the scales off of here. Luckily, we don't have to worry about that. So we're going to start with a sharp knife. Fillet knife is better. This here is technically not a fillet knife. This is a boning knife. So it's not as flexible, but it still has some flexibility to it. And you can tell there's a couple of scales on here that I just cut through.
Yep. When I touched the fish yesterday, I had scales on them.
Which, I don't know if you can see them, but they're just little tiny pieces. They're almost a little like plastic. And that tends to happen. They don't usually descale completely around the head or around the tail. So you might catch a couple of them when you're filleting your fish. So I'm literally going straight down its back. Straight down its back. And you can actually feel your knife going over the bones. And we're going to have to go back through this and actually take out the pin bones as well, which are the little tiny bones. And I'll show you guys as soon as we get the fillet off of here. But if you look inside, this here is where the bone is, going all the way down. So all of this is bony, and you can feel it all the way down. Just like when you're butchering or fabricating anything else, you want to keep your knife right up against the bone. So if you feel here, you're going to feel little tiny bones. So those are the pin bones, and that's where we're going to take a pair of pliers actually and then pull them out one by one so that there are no, and this here is your pin bone. It's very, very tiny, but they're throughout the entire fish. You got to pull them out so that way when people are eating it, they don't have a physical contamination in their food. So this is the one side, all right, completely cleaned. And then we're going to flip it over. We're going to do it to the other side as well. Now this other piece, this fillet, all right, so we have one fillet done. We're going to trim it up. We're going to trim off some of this belly fat here. We're going to get the fins off of here. And then I'm even, one of them I may even fillet the skin off of it, just so I can show you guys how it's done. But a lot of people like salmon skin. So you can keep it on there and you can crisp it up when you sear it off, and people will eat it. So
I go around it.
Again, I'm gonna flip this guy over so I'm starting from him facing away from me. And same thing on this side, you can see his eyes, check his gills. All right, we're gonna start again right underneath his fin here. Straight up and around its head, okay? And then we're gonna turn our knife in the other direction and again, go straight back.
What up? She's accusing a fish. I can see that.
I mean, we're fabricating. That's the word that you guys should be using.
She's fabricating the fish.
We're fabricating the fish. Again, keeping the knife right against the bone.
Well, these fish are hard to catch. You gotta have hella patience, which I don't. As y'all can tell.
I'm watching her.
Let's use the
How many
fish.
we getting? This one?
Just the one, yeah.
Expensive.
They are.
That's what you just said.
But you can tell if the quality is good because you can see the eye, you can see the gills, you can touch it.
You can hear the
fillets.
bones.
Oh, boom! It's a broth. There
You
go.
can actually save the bones and make a fish stock out of it.
Yup.
That's what you're gonna do with it?
We might as well. Why not?
Might as well. It's a full fish.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
saying blood come out of his head.
Because his heart and everything's near his head.
All the guts were taken out, but they always miss a couple in there.
Yeah.
All right. So we can actually keep this. We can either throw it in the freezer and create a fish stock later, or we could even create a fish stock today. Because how long does it take to make a fish stock?
Like 6, 8 hours? Or, I don't know.
How long does it take to make a fish stock?
2 hours.
It takes 45 minutes. That's it. And all these bones will be broken down. And all of the flavor will be taken out of them. So it only takes 45 minutes to make it.
Thick. That's why their bones are thick.
Exactly. It's not like chickens and cows where the bones are so thick that they need extra time to get all the flavor out of them. So we could potentially make it today, or we throw it in the freezer and make it another time. But we are not going to throw any of these pieces away because we can utilize them.
Yeah, make some fish head soup.
All right. So again, we have pin bones here that we're going to want to take out. So I'm going to have to grab a pair of pliers and pull out all these little pin bones. I'm also going to make sure that the fins are cut off. And we're going to cut off some of this belly fat.
Omega-3.
It has plenty of omega-3.
You can.
All right, so we cut some of that belly fat off. Cut this fin off.
His hand.
His hand, that's the back part of it.
That's
Oh.
the look.
His foot
She
then.
already took off his front fins.
All right, guys, so with the fish bones, we're actually going to make a fish stock or a fish flume. It only takes 45 minutes. We're going to do our usual mirepoix of celery, carrots, and onions. We're going to give everything a rough chop and just stir it right in the pot. And then I'm going to take my excess scraps. I'm just going to throw this entire bone, head and all, right inside of my stock pot. We're going to put water in here just until it's covered. We're gonna use cold water like every other stock, just so we can get any impurities out of there. Just enough water in there to cover everything. Here you can see you've got your mirepoix, salmon, bones, and water. All right, here we have needle nose pliers, and this is what we're gonna use to remove the pin bones. So you're gonna feel the pin bones down here, and just clamp on and pull it out. And you can feel with your finger all the way down exactly where they're located. All right, that's all the pin bones on this fillet. You want to make sure to continue to rub your hands down here a couple times just to make sure that you don't accidentally run into any pin bones or anything sharp. You want to make sure that you're not eating anything like that. Now we're on to the next fillet. And then we got all the pin bones out. All right. All of these are garbage. All right, I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to take the skin off of this. I'm actually going to start from the tail end, which is the thinner end down here. I'm going to get my knife, cut right in here, and turned on the edge. And then I'm going to take this skin and I'm going to hold it in my hand, and I'm actually going to move the skin back and forth, making sure that my knife is at an angle so it's against the skin, and then I'm moving the skin again back and forth. Not the knife, the skin. All the way down to the end. So there we now have the skin off of here, and if I flip this over, you can see that's exactly what you want it to look like. There's no skin on it, and it's perfect. If you see the pink, it means you've taken too much off. I flip this bad boy back over. There we go. All right, now I'm going to portion this. We're going to portion it, and then I'm going to freeze it so that we have it and we can sell it for lunch one of these days. And we're going to do about 6-7 ounce portions for lunch. I'm going to grab the scale. We want to make sure that we cover our scale with plastic wrap. 6 ounces on the dot. All right, I'm going to make sure to cut the other one as well. Just going to show you now how we're going to wrap these up. I want to make sure that we are wrapping them nice and tight so no air is getting to them. Take this here. I'm going to be pushing the plastic up against it. I'm keeping them as tight as possible because I don't want the air to get to them. I'm going to be putting these in the freezer and they need to stay nice and airtight so they don't get freeze or burn.